Hey, I'm Shane with Construction Junkie here at Groundbreak 2019, and right now I'm in the SlatPlanner booth with Daniel. Now, Daniel, SlatPlanner has a bit of an interesting history to it. Can you tell me how you got started?
Yeah, absolutely. So SlatPlanner is actually a product of the innovation department of a general contractor known as Robbins & Morton. We're headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama. And it's really just, it was an experiment that we've actually seen really good success with so far. We've only been available for a couple months, and really we just, there's an incredible amount of interest in SlatPlanner, so it's exciting.
Great. So what exactly is SlatPlanner? Give it an overview of what the program is.
Yeah, so SlatPlanner is a lean tool. We created it with the intention of talking about active planning, and so what we like to tell people is instead of creating a schedule and sending it to your trades and saying, hey, give me your feedback, and then nothing but crickets. Instead, this is an active planning collaborative tool where everyone's on their feet and they're up on the board and they're discussing and they're talking. It's all about transparency and communication and collaboration.
Okay, cool. So you can kind of see in the background there's a big slat board on the wall. And when I go into job trailers on my jobs, foremen, superintendents love having a big wall full of either dry erase board or a big printout of a Gantt chart. So they really like talking to their subs and making changes on the fly. So we're going to take a look back and see how the program actually works. All right, so now we're over at the slat wall. Daniel, why don't you show us how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is the slat wall, and we have a SlatPlanner application, and basically you use that application to create what we're calling backlog tasks or just new tasks in general. Now, when you create that task, you're behaving usually as a trade or a subcontractor. So you're creating a task, you're defining the name of it, the location in which it takes place, and the crew size, the amount of people who are going to be working on it. You don't define the dates. So that's all that's required to create a task, and then you actually print those tasks on a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Let's see if I can grab one here. So this is the 8.5 by 11. Any color printer works, and then you take these stickers off. It's a really easy process, and you put them on our slat notes. The other thing about these slat notes is you can actually write on them with a dry erase marker and wipe them off. So it is flexible in that regard. And then when you put the dates on, every task comes with a start and a finish sticker. So you can see here the start and a finish, and then along the top we have the dates, right? So what we like to tell people is, look, collaboratively, you're gonna be placing these tasks on the wall. And so if I'm a company called Blue Steel Works here, as Blue Steel Works, I am going to be the one to place these tasks on the wall, not the general contractor. The general contractor behaves more like a facilitator. So instead of saying, hey, Blue Steel Works, I want you to set the steel roof, Monday through Friday. Instead of doing that, because there's a rule that says the task is always going to take just as much time as it's been allotted, we don't want that to happen. So instead, you say, hey, steel guy, how long is it going to take you to set that steel roof, and how many guys is it going to take? And then it's up to the facilitator, the general contractor, to say yes, no, I need more effort, etc. And then so that's really what this is all about. And during that process, during that planning schedule, it's up to the facilitator to find out what the constraints are, find out if they need something to make sure the tasks are ready. It's really all about, again, the active collaboration. So it's a really good process. You can see that it's color-coded according to trade. And then there's also no limit to how wide or how tall, even a tall person like you, we can make the wall extra tall, but there's really no limit to how wide or how tall these walls can go. And in fact, you can have multiple walls per project. We have some clients that actually have a wall on each floor of their building, so it's really good in that regard. Real quick note, I know some people ask us about the wall. These we get from Home Depot. They're about $60 for a 4x8 sheet. So we actually don't provide those. Those you get from Home Depot. They're really easy to get.
Now, once you have everything where you need it, how do you get it into the computer afterwards?
Good question. So we have a web app accessible, obviously, through any browser, including your phone. And so our phones in our pocket happen to have really good cameras. And so just by logging in, and I'll pull out my phone here to show you, then I have the option to scan QR codes. and it'll just ask permission to use the camera, and then I have a camera here, and I can scan. And it's important to know it's a continuous scan. You don't have to like click any button. You just kind of go, up, and then you scan every activity that happens on that day. So anything that starts or finishes, or any milestone, and you can kind of see that in here it says how many tasks have started. So I always want to make sure that I have all the starts and finishes. Want to make sure that that number is equal to make sure. And then once I'm done, I'll just hit the finish and sync button, and that sends all that data to the cloud, to the SlatPlanner application. And so, what's really important is what happens next. Okay. This is where we. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and check out how the SlatPlanner application works next. So now that we've scanned in the slat notes, we have to go to the computer. So what's next?
Sure. So that's where the true power of SlatPlanner is. It's all about memorializing your plan. You have a plan, and you want to make sure that it gets into the right hands. And sometimes you don't have people on site, like a scheduler, for example, that needs to update their schedule. So scanning that QR code puts the schedule in a format that people can read and understand. So if the most basic one is the Gantt chart, right? Everybody knows what the Gantt chart is, and the beauty of that is, you can export into P6 or Microsoft Project or Asta Power Project, and then as of last week, actually you can export into Procore, into the Procore scheduling tool. So we're really excited about that.
Tell me more about the Procore, because I know you have an announcement as well.
Yeah, we're really happy. Thanks for asking. We're very, extremely happy to announce that we're actually one of the very first partners with Procore for the embedded experience. So you can actually use SlatPlanner without having to leave Procore at all. You can use it all within that tool.
That's great. All right, so after all the data gets loaded into the scheduling software that you want to use, how do you gain data insight from that data?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that's actually the most powerful thing about SlatPlanner that we're really proud of. So we automatically capture the plan for people to use, but also we capture the metrics. One of the really important things about using this tool is learning. How can we improve if we don't know what's wrong? So one of the nice benefits of SlatPlanner is you do your schedule, and you come back a week later, and before you discard last week's plan, you'll actually arrange the tasks according to real life, what actually happened. So you arrange those and then you scan again. And what that does is we had already recorded what your plan was, and now we're recording your actuals. And so now we automatically know your success or failure rate, PPC. And so one of the cool things that we do is we offer snapshots. So snapshots are essentially like baselines. You can take a snapshot of your plan every Monday, for example, and so you can go back in time and say, hey, 2 months ago, what did our plan look like 2 months ago? You could do that, but we also use snapshots to compare our commitments to what actually happened. And so if I take a snapshot and I had, let's say, for example, 4 tasks like this one over here that were delayed. I see those tasks, and not only do I see them, but I see what the reasons for failure were. And so if I click on this edit button, I can see that those are the list of reasons that I can choose from. Every project has their own list of reasons, and this is one of those. So what can you do with that data? Well, we have a metrics tab that we're really excited about, and that essentially shows me my failure reasons over time. Now, this is a demo project that I'm showing you. It's not actually typical. What is typical is 1 or 2 reasons for 90% of the delayed tasks. So that's a really valuable metric that people gain from it. And then also we have PPC. You can scroll down just a little bit. You can see the percent plan complete. And that basically tells you, out of all your commitments, what's the percentage of those that you're actually making versus failing on.
Okay. And how can people find more information about SlatPlanner?
They can go to SlatPlanner.com to learn more.
Okay, great. So check out SlatPlanner and go to constructionjunkie.com for more great groundbreak coverage.